Good morning and welcome to a different type of Let's Go Racing episode. If you didn't catch in the last video, I did bonk my head earlier in the year, so I'm probably out for the rest of the season, but I still got support from Forbidden, Maxxis, and Turley Designs. So kind of like in motocross, when a rider gets injured, they'll have a fill-in rider to keep that bike on the track. So if I can't ride it, we're gonna find someone else who can.
Name's Conner Wygearts, 23 years old, currently living in Concord, California. Been racing bikes for the last 4 years. Started this out in Bozeman, Montana. First race did pretty well in, decided to jump up to the pro category. Started racing out here, was able to snag a third out in Shasta a couple weeks ago. That was the first big pro podium. Just living the life, working at a bike shop, trying to support myself, getting from race to race. Starting to realize that this is something I want to pursue in my life, make it a career. I have hopes of racing EWS, if not next year, the following year. So that's the plan, trying to see if I can make it happen. Hopefully pick up some more support along the way. Travel budget, anything.
Anything would help.
Yeah, anything would help, that's for sure. Grew up in the same town as Brian. Super cool watching him step up through racing and seeing where he's getting now. He hit me up with this cool idea of do a little testing. We got a big race coming up in a couple weeks here, the CES Northstar. So today we're going to be going back and forth on my main bike, and then I'm going to be riding this thing for the first time. Don't know what to expect, but I'm pretty excited about it. But we'll see how it goes.
Dangerous. Yo, it's got new brake pads. Oh, nails it first try. He's already vibing with the bike. Oh, huge air.
Mike down! Yes, sir!
This is my bike for the year, Santa Cruz Bronson.
And what do you got going on with your shifters?
Those are secret. Those are blip buttons. Just kind of eliminated a shifter, something to get off the bars. A whole lot of wires, a whole lot of mischiefs here and there. Concept I've been messing with lately, so having fun with it.
Here we are at Northstar at the top of Boondocks. We got the two bikes in question, the Dreadnaught, and Connor is on his bike. So we'll set up the free lap timing system. This run will kind of be a warm-up, first run of the day. Then the next lap will be kind of getting up to speed. And then the third lap on Connor's bike will be a race run, essentially. We'll kind of repeat the process on the Dreadnaught. The free lap system will give us instant results at the bottom of each run, so we'll be able to see what's going on and how the bikes are doing. You just set this little node to start. You set the last node to finish. Here he comes. Oh, he's already pinned. No! What are you working with?
At 244 somewhere with a couple passes.
Oh, we got more riders. Okay.
Just kind of cruised. Luckily I was able to pass those guys like without having to stop too much.
How's the bike going?
It's working.
Same hole?
Pretty normal.
You're
Lots
looking-
of noises.
You're looking pinned
Thanks.
to the
Yeah.
bottom. So what do you say? Another on this, and then that'll be kind of like a race run, and then
Yeah.
we'll switch bikes?
Yeah, I'm down. Or 238.
2:38,
Yeah.
6 seconds faster. How'd that run feel?
Good. Couple mistakes. Pushed a little harder. Almost washed out. I like hard G out and a jump thing. Stayed on the bike though. Can't complain.
I don't think your GoPro's recording, dude.
Yeah, I just turned it off.
Oh, okay. You have me worried.
No.
Well, do you think that's a solid lap, or do you think it's worth doing another?
No, I'd like to try the Forbidden.
Okay.
Set it up a little bit and then.
All right, so we're getting set up on the Dreadnaught for its first lap. What adjustments are we making?
Rolling the bars forward. Move the levers down a little bit. Shifting back.
Who is that? Damn! Sick bike, dude. Good lineup right there. All right, we're at the top of the hill. Connor's all set up on the Dreadnaught. I'm on the Druid. I forgot my goggles, but I'm gonna try and follow him on his first lap and just get some like live reactions. But before we do that, Connor, the fans are dying to know why the backpack. Why the backpack at the bike park?
Everything I need is in here. Shock pump, water, tube, plugs, multi-tool, everything. Whatever you need, come find me.
A reasonable man. Alright, Connor's gonna do a full lap. I'll probably get dropped almost immediately, but keep an eye on him while we can. Oh yeah, I ain't doing that. I ain't doing that. Alright, instant replay review.
Composed, fast. It just wants to go and plow. A little harsh on the square edges right at first, but I think suspension, some tinkering with that will take care of it. Fun bike, poppy, playful. It's just wants to go.
Do you know what time you did?
2:43.
Cool. So, right about where your bike was on your warm-up lap?
On the warm-up, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, that was first go on this thing. Ever. First lap ever.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
No.
All right, Connor's coming down for his second run on the Dreadnaught. Only a second run, but I think he's gonna go for a pretty good time. He looked really good right off the bat, so that was pretty sweet to see, but the bike is a lot different. So yeah, Connor's really rad. I feel like he's in a similar position to me where he found racing kind of late and has a lot of speed, but not necessarily a bunch of racing experience. So I hope I can help him out with the bike setup, kind of with some racecraft, and help him like really establish himself on the local racing.
That was a wild ride.
Oh! Holy crap! That was huge! Oh, dude.
I hit a tree.
Oh no.
Kinda, almost.
Huh?
I got pinged offline
Oh no.
in the rock garden. 2:42, so I did drop some time with a big mistake.
Dude, you standing
Dude.
so huge.
Sorry.
I don't care, dude. That was tight.
This thing rips, dude.
Does it need to stiffen up a little bit?
Maybe in front.
Dude.
That
I
was
mean,
pretty hard.
you did send that thing like 30 feet, but
Yeah.
sick, dude. Nice work.
Pinged a couple times.
That's good. That means you're going fast.
Right? Kind of like plop down, and then you gotta like bank off the rock.
Oh yeah, dude.
Feels perfect right there.
Yeah.
It's everywhere where, yeah.
Does it feel better like the harder you push it?
Yeah, definitely.
I don't have it set up to cruise.
Okay, yeah.
All right, we're gonna give Conner a little bit more pressure in the ramp up chamber. That bottom out was pretty extreme. Let's up the pressure. I think we're gonna go like 225. All right, this is Conner's third run on the Dreadnought ever. Last run he had a bit of a stall out. It was about a 7-second stall out, and he ran a 2:42, and the time we're trying to beat is a 2:38. So the man's got some pace on this bike. I'm excited for him to hopefully put down a clean run. Oh, you look the best yet on that one.
Yeah, 234.
Yo.
Down 4 seconds.
What was it?
234. Dropped 4 seconds.
The man's got some pace.
That was a good one. Some mistakes, but kept it together.
Yeah.
So nothing bad.
You're obviously pushing really hard on that run. Like, how does the bike keep feeling?
Better and better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would want to make like subtle little changes that I prefer, but the bike as a whole is awesome, right up off the bat.
I mean, dude, that's your third run on it.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Fork did feel a lot better. I didn't bottom out.
Yeah, I was waiting for the bottom out noise on that fork slap.
Yeah.
It didn't happen.
No, that felt a lot better.
Section just looks sick regardless, but
Yeah.
you're definitely charging on this thing.
It's a fun bike.
Hell yeah.
Hopefully I think I pinged like 3 or 4 times, but Max, this is holding up. Surprise. Yeah, that was sick.
All right, we're down here in the Northstar parking lot after a long day of riding. Conner smoked.
Yep.
So, but just wanted to kind of debrief after the day and kind of get into the details on how the two bikes compared to each other. Yeah, I guess we'll start like talking about the trail. We rode Boondocks today. It's one of like the main downhill trails at Northstar, and we picked it because you had just raced on it, right?
Yeah. It's pretty like flat up top for the most part. Honestly, the whole trail is
It's
pretty
not that
flat.
steep.
I feel like line choice really comes into play on that trail. You could just kind of strain some things out, make stuff like link a little bit better. So definitely like knowing the trail pretty well and knowing what to do and being able to repeat that was huge in terms of like going back to back.
How'd it feel in the corners? Because like you're on a mullet bike, it's like way different geometry, short chain stays, at least compared to this bike. Yeah, it's got to be completely different.
Yeah. It just held a line well. It was very calm in the corners. Like nothing crazy. It wasn't trying to like front end wash out. It just kind of held its ground. Bronson seems a lot more like if your weight's too far forward, you're not gonna corner it's just not gonna go well. If your weight's too far back, your front's gonna kind of wash. The Bronson seems a lot more finicky almost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's one of the things like I like most about this bike is you kind of can just like trust it and like stay in like a pretty neutral position, and it doesn't really like give you anything to like hesitate on.
Yeah.
Or like it doesn't make you do anything crazy in the corners.
I think Brian's on the money with that, and just in terms of like, it's just calm, like do what you know and it'll be fine instead of having to like overthink it and like counteract. And
that's cool. And then like getting on the Forbidden, the first lap, second lap, like how did the feeling on the bike progress? I know we messed with a little bit of suspension stuff. Like how'd it feel on that first lap?
First lap, I didn't know what to expect. Honestly, like it wasn't too bad. Like it felt pretty at home. You know, minor tweaks like suspension and whatnot. And then like second lap after the tweaks, a lot more like confidence inspiring. Pushed it a little bit harder. It held its ground just fine. Like it didn't get sketchy or anything. And then like going into that third lap, like trying to push it, I was like, all right, like comfortable.
Yeah.
Confident in it. So.
Nice. Yeah, I think we, on the first lap, Conner said that the suspension was like feeling a little harsh in the fork, and the shock too, actually. So we backed down the compression all the way on the shock, and then on the fork, we kind of went up in the ramp up chamber and kept the same pressure in the main chamber. Also slowed the fork down. That's just something I've noticed riding here, is like a little bit slower rebound than I usually run feels a lot better. It doesn't feel like the fork is like kind of pushing back at you as hard, because the bumps here, like it's really soft dirt, so it never really gets super jagged, and I think it just makes the front end feel a little planted. And then you had that like huge bottom out in the second lap, like hucking that fadeaway jump at the end. And then I think we added even more pressure to the ramp up chamber and a little bit more in the main chamber after that. And then with where the compression and rebound was, that had the fork feeling really good. And then when I hopped on the bike at the end of the day, I actually think that was the best that fork's felt out here for sure. So that was kind of cool, like figuring stuff out and having someone else ride it. Like they can kind of give you like feedback that you may be like missing sometimes. Do you feel like it was giving you the most advantage that like translated into that better time?
Definitely just plowed through like the rough stuff way better, way smoother. Like as soon as you're off the brakes, it just wanted to take off.
So yeah, I guess with all that being said, it's like I'm not trying to say the Bronson's a bad bike. It's like, what are you trying to do with it? I took like a lap on it while I was filming, and it didn't feel bad, but I think when you're trying to like push that last few percent, it really comes down to the details. All this series that we're like super nerding out on bikes, it can help everyone, but it's like when you're racing and pushing that last 2 or 3%, like that's when that stuff really starts to matter. So the Bronson was fun, it was sweet, it rides good, but it's like when you're pushing on race laps, if that's what your goal is, there's definitely like certain things you're looking for, and a bike can make a huge difference. So yeah, you've had the Bronson for a while. It's not like you've been putting in good results on it, right?
Yeah.
Like you've got it to a point where it feels sweet, but when you're looking to like make that next step in your riding, you really got to start taking a look at your bike setup, your fitness. Like there's so many things that go into it, and a bike setup's a huge part of it, and that can kind of give you that extra second or two, you know, at the end of the race day, which ends up making a pretty big difference. I don't know, it's cool to see you ride. You definitely have a ton of skill, and you can ride at like the level of like the top guys, or it's somewhere close. Like you know what you're doing on the bike, and like for me, like the hardest thing is to take that and translate that into speed. Being fast is different than being just a good bike rider. And just because you can trout a corner real sick is like, that takes a lot of bike skill, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're fast. It just like, it's taken me like 4 years to like learn what fast feels like, rather than like what shredding feels like. So I don't know, I think line choice, bike setup, and everything that goes into racing. I don't know, you've only been doing it for 3 or 4 years now, so you got a lot to learn, and yeah, I think it'll be cool going to these next race or two together, and yeah, trying to go fast. That's what it's all about.
Push the
So
limits. Yeah.
right on. Well, we'll see you guys at Northstar. Conner will be swinging off the back of the Forbidden, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. So peace out.
Cheers. That's sick.